Welcome back to From Nine to Mom, where we talk about balancing the 9 to 5 hustle and the beautiful chaos of motherhood. And this morning, you can already tell that I did the intro here. Danielle is in her surgery. So if you guys have been paying attention in the last few, go get your checks from your dermatologist. She's in there now. We'll keep you guys updated how she's doing, but she's going to take the week to rest and recover. So today, I have my best friend, Kate Jordon, with me. And we're going to do our weekly rewind. So Kate and I have known each other a long time, right? 8 years. I don't know. And we have, before that, we went to the same college. Our husbands are BFFs. And yeah, so we both have entered motherhood around the same time here. Kate has an almost 1-year-old, Camden.
I can't believe it.
I know, it's weird to say that like on the introduction that you have a 1-year-old.
I know. I can't believe it. Comes at you fast.
Thanks for joining me. But Kate, recently we're just on a little weekend getaway with no kids. So you got to tell me about it because I haven't heard yet.
Yes, it was so much fun. It was actually like much needed. I don't think Zach and I had taken a trip, just the two of us, since probably our honeymoon, which was almost 3 years ago today, this week. So it was definitely due. So it was fun. It was good. The weather was great. We saw a couple baseball games. We did a little bar crawl and food crawl, of course.
Wait, yeah, I was loving it that Zach got all the like fruity like drinks that I would get. Yeah, I mean, I would drink your espresso martini pick that I saw.
I told him, I was like, I'll go to the baseball game. Not that I don't like baseball, but right, like his thing is like baseball games. I'm like, okay, we'll do that. But then I want to do like a fancy, like some of the nicer cocktail bars, get some fancy appetizers. I made him get like burrata as an appetizer, and a grilled Caesar salad, which was really good.
Ooh.
But I was like, we're gonna get nice cocktails on like the cocktail list menu, not like a vodka.
You're not getting a beer.
No, not a beer. We're getting nice cocktails, and he was along for it, so it was good.
Good. And you guys, was this the longest? Well, you've been away, but Zach was home with Cam. So this is the first time both of you multiple nights?
Yeah. So the first time, like when I was away for work, I was gone for like 5 days. But Zach, like you said, Zach was home with him. Otherwise, we've only really left Cam together alone, probably like for one night, maybe. Yeah, just one night, I think maximum. So this is the first 2-nighter away.
And I have to blow up your stock because we definitely shared it as a like the shit you can't make up. Because when you went away on your work trip, that was Cam's first time getting sick, right?
Literally the worst. Yeah, I was like, we'd almost made it through the whole trip. I think I was on my last like day and night, and then the next day I was going home. And Zach texted me the one morning. He's like, "Can you like call me?" I was like, "Shit, I know something's wrong." So I called him, and he was really nice about it. He kept him calm, like he was sounding like he had it covered. But he got like a little ear infection and a fever. But like you said, it was the first time that he'd ever gotten sick, of course. So poor Zach had to pack up a sick kid and go all the way to the pediatrician and do all of that by himself for the first time, and go to the drugstore and get the antibiotic.
All the stuff.
Of course, yeah.
Big shout out to Zach. You handled it.
100%. 100%. Yeah, we got lucky.
And of course, it's like you're multiple time zones away. So did anything happen this weekend, or was it smooth sailing?
No, we were a little worried. He had a little bit of a fever this week, I think, just from teething. So we were pumping him with Motrin this week, hoping that he'll get over it quick. And it happened to be okay. I think we had my mother-in-law Tina watch him for the whole weekend, and she didn't run away screaming. So I think that we did okay.
Did she call you, text you at all, besides like cute pictures?
No, she's so great. She tries really hard to like keep the contact to minimum, just send happy pictures, happy updates, and she was really great with that. She would let us know, if something was actually wrong. But it was happy boy all weekend, I think.
Good. And they watched him at your house too, right? So you didn't have to go drop him. That's really nice.
It was mostly because of Stella, our dog, because she's also very codependent. So it was like a 2-for-1 deal.
two kids babysitting. So me and Ryan are going away this weekend, and it's the first time we both have been a plane ride away from the kids. I don't think actually Ryan's been more than one night away. I've been a couple nights away from Jack, not Calvin yet.
Not both.
So it's crazy that it took us a whole year because we don't go anywhere.
It's so hard when you have the time, right?
Yeah, so fun. We have a wedding, but of course I took the day off before so 100%. That I can like pack and do everything. And then of course they're staying with Ryan's parents who watch them quite a bit, and they're supposed to watch them on Thursday. So I feel like I don't want to leave them there all day because they're going to have them all weekend. Right. So I'm picking them up half day. So like my day off is the morning sprinting around to get stuff ready. And then second part of the day, taking care of them to then go bring them back over to go to bed. But what made it easier for you to because you had everything at home, but you still laid stuff out for them, like, right? Like outfits and like food and that
Yep.
stuff.
Yep. Yeah. No, it's definitely, sorry, my headphone cut out for a second. I hope you can still hear me.
Okay. Yes.
But yeah, so I think to your point too, I think it's hard because like we are the same way, like we want to do all the planning and
Yeah.
all the prep the day before. But I found it really hard because I did the same thing. I found it hard because I also wanted to spend that time with Cam, right? Like you
Right.
want
Yeah.
to
You feel
like,
so guilty.
yeah, you're like, I'm about to leave you. I want to spend that one day with you, but so sorry, I have to go run all my errands and pack everything.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, I did the same thing. I prepped. So Cam is kind of like I think where Cal is now, where he's just eating a lot of food right now, less
Yeah.
bottles. But I'm still paranoid of him choking to death. So I still cut up things really, really small. So I didn't want my mother-in-law to have to worry about that. So I went through and I meal planned all of his meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the entire time we'd be gone. I came home Friday. I think we left Friday morning, so Thursday, it's the same.
Yeah.
I like prepped everything. I cut everything up. I meal planned. I put it in tiny little containers, labeled everything. Yeah, so it was a marathon, but we made it.
I love it. And I'm totally going to ask you to share the picture you sent me on the Snap, if you still have it, of all the ones laid out on your counter, because it's totally like something I would do. And it's funny because whenever Danielle and I talk about it, like she is the opposite. Like she would have not probably planned that at all. Like her mom's like in her house, her mom's like making their meals for them. So like,
I love it.
She's like, there would be no way. But we keep joking that the second kids are just like feral animals. Like I barely cut Kelvin's food now because he just like the rate at which it's entered, like it's just like I can barely keep up. Like I can't get enough on his plate, which is just
he loves
like
his food. I love it.
yeah, but yeah, definitely the fear of choking and leaving him with other people with that. Like we were at a barbecue this weekend and Ryan's parents were there and Ryan was feeding Kelvin and his mom was like, those are big pieces. Like you give him that. And he's like, yeah, but like, it's okay for me to do the Heimlich and go in his mouth. Like, I don't want you to have to do that. Like still cut it. 'Cause she's like, is that my approval to do it? And Ryan's like, no, cut it up still.
It's so true. It's so different. And we actually had a small episode where we had to smack him on his back a couple of times and we were like traumatized. I think you watched Cam the other day and you asked how small and I was like, as small as you can.
Pretty
I'm
small.
Like still paranoid from that.
Yes.
But you're so right. It's like us versus other people. It's not that you don't trust other people, right? It's just like you feel just more comfortable doing it yourself sometimes. And that was the reason why I went psychotic and prepping everything.
Of course. And actually you brought up me watching Cam last week. So for all of our listeners out there, I babysat Cam and left Ryan home with the two kids. And I was like going out the door and Ryan's like, I hate you. Why didn't me and him were like, actually, like he was honestly like, do you want me to go do it? And we were like, I was like, no, like I'm going. So we were both like dying to go over. I'm like, bye. Ryan's like, you get a vacation. That's so mean. And I was like, it's fine. Like,
I love that.
But it's so funny how we're like the two kids versus the one. And I was talking to Danielle about it because I had told her, I think I sent a Snapchat to her of me babysitting. I'm like, just relaxing with one kid. Like you forget what it's like. Because there's like, it really brought back like memories of how Jack was. Like me and him sat and watched the Little Miss Rachel, like full attention on the one kid. And it's like, we were joking that like parents with like 3+ kids probably look at us and are like, wait, you're man to man with your kids. Like, what are you upset at? Like, why do you think it's so hard? And it's 100%. Just so funny how like whatever phase you're in is when you like what you think there. My light just died. But yeah, so we're looking forward to this weekend, but it's definitely a little like mom guilt, like going out and like having fun and like the kids there. I'm like, they're gonna think that I just left them forever. And
I know. I hate that how you can't like explain it to them, right? I mean, maybe Jack could understand a little bit more than Kel, of course, but it's so hard. Now, when you go away, do you like the check-ins or do you do better like kind of just not knowing and focusing on your trips?
So I like so during the day we get photos like a lot because like Ryan's parents will separate and one of them will take Jack out to the park or something, so they'll send photos, which I like, but yeah, usually they don't really check in unless we call. But I think actually Ryan's more like guilty when he goes, like his dad guilt is like almost up to mine, where it's like of course he's been doing a little more prep this time because like of course now that he lost a few pounds he like needs his suit redone, like everything he's all worried about his clothes. And
of course it's the week off, right? Because that's how guys function. They wait till the day before, like, I should probably
he's literally going to be
shorts.
He's going to be calling this morning trying to get his pants taken in.
Yeah,
like I'm like, it's the week off. We're going to pay so much extra for that. not, do what you got to do though. And, if he's going to help at all, get our bags ready, then that's great.
Right.
So, but like, that's the most he's done. So of course, all week I'm going to be focused on like getting us organized. I always like the house to be clean when I leave and like to
Me
come
too.
back to a clean house, especially since we're not going to be here. And then like, we're getting home like late Sunday afternoon. So like, we're going to have like dinner in bed. And yeah, so it's just, there's so many things to get ready, but Ryan gets guilty once we leave. Like I like leading up, and then once I go, I'm good. But like Ryan's the one that feels guilty when we're gone. Like he's the one texting his dad, like, how are they? Like, let's FaceTime.
That's so interesting.
This.
That's what I didn't think of it like from that two different angles, right? Because I think I'm kind of more like you too. Like once I have the distraction, like the whole ride there, like it was a 4-hour drive to Pittsburgh, and I think like the farther away I got, like the sadder I got. And Zach had on this terrible playlist with a couple sad songs. I was like, next. Like I can't. I gotta be happy.
No.
And I got there. You get a drink, you settle in, and you're like, okay.
And, like they're fine.
Yeah.
It's also like once the kids go to bed and you know that they're asleep, you're like, oh, okay, it's fine. Like I'm fine now.
Yes, I'm fine. They're fine. They're sleeping.
Like totally. Yeah, they would be sleep. I'd be home sitting there anyway. They don't even know that I'm gone. Like then it's a little easier.
You like talk yourself through, like in the monologue going in your head, like talking yourself down off a cliff.
Like you talk yourself into it. So the other thing we gotta talk about too is, so Danielle and I talk a lot about on here like our daycare situations, and we both have, in home with in-laws, babysitter, but you guys are in a situation where your closest family is 45 minutes away, right? So you have had to like figure out different situations for Cam, like who's watching him during the day. So I want you to like talk through your guys' schedule.
Yeah, so we like for our work schedule, it's kind of interesting. So Zach works a shift schedule, which is confusing. So he works 4 days on and then has 4 days off. And of the 4 days he works 2 day shifts and then 2 night shifts. So even of the 4 days he's on, the 2 days he's working, night shift, he can watch Cam during the day. So when we're looking for daycare, we're taking into consideration that, we don't need like a 9 to 5 Monday through Friday situation. Yeah. So luckily enough, we got connected through you guys, thankfully. And she only watches Cam 2 days a week for us. And then Zach watches Cam the rest of the day typically. But we're finding that even how his schedule rotates and just the fact that we like to be social occasionally and go out, like we still needed a backup person. Yeah. Zach's parents, like you said, are 45 minutes away. They're normally like our go-to people, but we just feel terrible, asking them to come out every single time, every single day that we have something to do, because it's time out of their day. It's a lot of planning. Right. So when they're unavailable, Zach's mom and also Zach's sister, Brittany, when they're both unavailable, we're like, shoot, like, what do we do? We have nobody. My parents are, 3.5 hours away. So fortunately, I get a free care.com membership through work. And I was a little skeptical. Okay. Yeah, because it's expensive, I think, otherwise. Yeah. So I was like, I probably wouldn't have done that anyway, because I'm like a little skeptical about it. So we got really desperate one time. So they're like, we have a bunch of days that aren't covered. That we didn't know what we're going to do. So I was like, I'll just peruse it a little and just see what comes up. Right. So you log in and like care.com, like you can either post a job or you can reach out to people directly. And reaching out to people directly didn't prove successful whatsoever. So I posted the job, a couple days a week, maybe some weekends, maybe some evenings, go out. And I got a few people that were interested. You can like kind of look through their profile, and of course I'm searching them on social media like a creep, making sure they look normal. We found this one girl, Olivia, and she said she's comfortable. We have a 70-pound German Shepherd, so that was another consideration.
That's another layer on, yeah.
Oh my gosh, awful. And she was surprisingly fine with that. She had a nephew the same age as Cam, so we're like, you know what? Let's give her a try. So we reached out to her, and she came over to our house and met Cam. We gave like a 2-hour trial where like, we were still there and then kind of watching every little move. Right. She did great. She was so nice. She was so comfortable with Cam, so comfortable with Stella. And we're like, okay, let's just give it a try. And she's been watching Cam pretty much ever since, just a few days that we don't have coverage. I think she's been here maybe 5 or 6 times, and she's fantastic. She's so good. She keeps our schedule, because I know you can appreciate a good schedule too. She keeps our schedule.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Cam loves her.
That's good. Yeah. And it's so like, how many people do you think you went through before you found her? Like, did you talk to a lot of people on there? Yeah.
So there's a few people that came through. I'm like, oh good God. Like, no, just by the look of them, their profile is like really lacking. I'm just like, probably not. And there's one girl that I reached out, and we were going to meet. I was going to meet her, just me and her, like out to coffee, just so I can kind of interview her a little bit. She's a little bit older, I think. And then timing didn't work out. Something came up. I think Cam had got like another ear infection or something. So I had to cancel on her. I didn't end up rescheduling, but I found Olivia in the meantime and I kind of went that route
Yeah.
instead. So I kind of just let the other lady know and she was fine
Yeah.
with it. So
Yeah.
it really wasn't that bad.
No, that's great. It's like once you find that person though, like you're like, okay, we're set now, and hopefully she never like moves, changes, nothing. And it's so nice
Yes.
she's like going to be flexible to your guys' schedule too, because that's also hard. Like some people are like looking for, you know, consistent like 9 to 5 or whatever it may be.
Yeah, our schedules are just such a mess all the time, and especially like when our weekday schedules are a mess, and then the weekends are like, oh, we also want to go do something then. It's extra hard. But yeah, she'll be a nurse, so fortunately, her schedule, like you said, is flexible, so she's willing to
Yeah.
work around our schedule. So we're very, very thankful to have
Yeah.
her on our roster, if you will.
Yeah, right. In the village, that's what we're saying.
Yes.
But can I ask if she's expensive? You don't have to say how much, but like is it expensive comparable to like daycare and that, or
Our Olivia is definitely pricier, but you had to take in
yeah.
consideration, right? Like she's coming to my house,
Yeah.
which is more convenient, I think, in the long run. And
Right.
then she's also traveling like 25 minutes, I think, or so to come here, taking time out of her day. She's flexible. So we took a lot of things into consideration when paying her. And we also kind of didn't have a choice. It was either this or one of
Yeah,
us
right.
takes
You're
off
like,
work anyway.
well, yeah, that's like the shitty part is like you just get to that point where you're like, okay, I just take off then because what else am I gonna go pay, more than I'm gonna make today? Like some people are in that situation and it makes it so hard.
Exactly. And like we try to call on friends like how you came and watched Cam the one evening, of course,
Yeah.
but like everyone else is working, during the week. So it's
Right.
extra
Right.
difficult to find somebody. So
Right.
yeah,
Well,
it's crazy.
they say it takes a village, you got to find all the right people.
Oh yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
thank you very much for coming on. We'll keep you guys updated how Danielle's doing. And I think it's time for us to clock out and clock back into the 9 to 5. We'll see you guys next time.
Perfect. Bye bye. Thank you.